Trump hat die Waffenruhe mit dem Iran jetzt auf unbestimmte Zeit verlängert. Was halten Sie von seinem Vorgehen und was würden Sie sich von ihm wünschen?
As I said in my speech, thinking that the regime has the ability to actually commit to a lasting peace is a little bit too much of a fantasy. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you see the pattern of behavior that the regime has displayed all these years, concealing their true intentions, hiding their nuclear program, being totally non-transparent in their true intentions, the actual rhetoric that they use within Iran, the belligerence that they talk about, their entire behavior is not indicative that they're prepared to change in any form or shape their behavior. But why is that? Because they can't. If they cease to do what they do, they're no longer the regime they claim to be. They're no longer a regime that is trying to export an ideology at the cost and expense of its own citizenry. And they've done that for just 47 years. As I said again, the whole narrative of ceasefire negotiation is still based on thinking that somehow the behavior is not going to change and you're going to deal with people who all of a sudden have become pragmatists. I don't see that happening. I'm not saying that diplomacy should not be given a chance, but I think diplomacy has been given enough chance, and every time it has had setbacks. This is time to readjust your foreign policies, to think that this regime is a solution at the end. The solution is the liberation of a nation that is asking you to take their side for once. For 47 years, the people of Iran have not been part of the equation. For 47 years, they've been ignored. They are not even part of these negotiations. And I'm here to speak on behalf of millions of Iranians who are voiceless to tell you, rather than investing on this regime, invest on them. Let them be the agents of change. Let them be the people who will bring you peace and stability, unlike a regime that has no intention other than survive at any cost, albeit killing thousands of innocent Iranians just to survive. This needs to be part of the consideration. And I don't think that I can judge the behavior headline to headline. I've learned one thing in the past few weeks. Whatever we hear coming out of Washington, let's judge on the results as opposed to the words that are being said here and there on social media.
Aber Sie haben zugleich vorhin auch eine Art Minimum Protection für die Menschen gefordert. Und wenn aus den USA eine Rhetorik kommt wie Zivilisation auslöschen, hilft das der Opposition im Land?
You know, Iran is a country with 25 centuries worth of civilization. For a country that has hardly been on this planet for 250 years celebrating their independence, I don't think that any government or any foreign country can determine the survival of a civilization or not. We as Iranians are proud of our civilization, and nothing can change that. The reason is that acknowledging the people of Iran is the best way to preserve not only your own interests, but also preserve a civilization that actually has contributed to the world. I find it surprising that if you realize that Thomas Jefferson actually was inspired by the first Declaration of Human Rights that Cyrus the Great implemented 25 centuries ago. And it is actually within the principles of the US Constitution to talk about Iranian civilization being wiped out. I think this is just words. I'm not taking it seriously. And I think that Iranians will pretty much tell you that we've survived many onslaughts. We have survived many invasions by the Arabs, by the Turks, by the Mongols, and we're still standing. And we will continue to stand. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you look at the energy on the streets of Iran, if you follow the streets of Iran, if you see to what extent people are proud of their culture, their heritage, and you can see it also through the diaspora that despite the fact that they've been forced into life outside of their own countries, how proud they are of their culture, nothing will change that. So I'm not at all frazzled or intimidated by any statement that challenges our civilization. On the contrary, I think the world is beginning to recognize that how different Iran can be when the people of Iran are free. And they are the ones who will tell you, we are not warmongers, we are peacemakers. The reason we have been brought to a situation of war is solely because of this regime. This regime is responsible for bringing us to where we are today. For years, I pleaded with the Western governments, do not appease the regime. The day will come that you will finally have to face confrontation. I always said we have to avoid conflict. But the continued policy of appeasement has led us to a point that now we are facing actual war. The responsibility is solely on that of the regime. So the world should not add insult to injury by punishing the Iranian people. The world should stand with the Iranian people and help us put an end to this regime. That's the war that is going on. Remember what I first said in my speech. There's a war going on, the war of the regime against the Iranian people. Now the regime is trying to deflect attention and push the narrative as if they are the victims all of a sudden, and the world is against them. No. They are the first culprit in bringing us to a situation of conflict. The sooner this regime is gone, the conflict will end also. Not by means of negotiation with the remnants of this regime, but by helping the Iranian people overcome and topple this regime. That's the ultimate solution that will bring us an end of this conflict and all these narratives or all these statements that we hear now and then. The solution lies in that ultimately.